Hello doll, Leah Titus here with Fire Line with Lace. I love the glitz and glamour of the 1920s, and with all the Great Gatsby inspired flapper fashion emerging, I thought I'd do a couple makeup looks from the film. First, I'm going to start with the sweet girl next door look of Daisy Buchanan, played by Carey Mulligan. Then I'm going to transform it into this charcoal, smoky-eyed look of Jordan Baker, played by Elizabeth Debiki. Let's get started. So first I'm going to start off with a light concealer that's really similar to my natural skin tone. And using a sponge, I'm just going to apply that all over my face, and basically I am replicating Daisy's absolutely flawless skin in the film. It doesn't look like she's wearing a lot of foundation, so we're going to keep it light. So after that, we're going to take a loose face powder and apply that all over the face as well, and this is going to take away any shine so that our skin looks nice and soft, but not oily. After that, bring it down to your neck a little just to make sure they match. Next, we're going to take an eyebrow sculpting brush and sculpt our eyebrows. In the 1920s, it was really popular to have really thin eyebrows with a really soft curve to it, and they were pretty long. So I'm also going to use this defining gel to make sure they stay in place. So next, we're going to draw in our eyebrows. Now, Daisy has a little bit darker eyebrows than me, so I'm going to use this light brown and this blonde together to create a more natural look. I recommend using two different colors whenever you do eyebrows because it just makes it a little bit more natural. So after drawing that in, again going with the thin shape, I'm going to put some concealer on my lips, and that's going to be for future sculpting. So clean up the area around the brows. Next, we're going to do some highlighting. So take a concealer stick, and I have a picture of Daisy pulled up on my computer for reference. Basically, you want to study her face and look at what areas of her face are catching the most light. For her, it's her cheeks, her nose, her forehead, her chin, and that little triangle shape right above her upper lip. So I'm going to try to mimic her face shape by accentuating these areas. After you draw it in, make sure you blend it really well, and don't forget that spot right underneath your eyes because you want to look like you had a full night's sleep and you're fresh, like she does throughout the film. After the highlighting, we're going to move on to contouring. So we're going to take the light brown. I'm actually using the matte light brown from my eyebrow kit, but any light brown will do. And I'm going to shape my nose to look more like Carey Mulligan's. So her nose is a little wider than mine, and I'm creating the shadows by going around the edges of mine to make it a little bit rounder, a little more button-like. And I'm also accentuating her big cheeks and her dimples that are really prominent in the photo I'm referring to. After that, we're going to move on to the highlights of her eyes. And again, make sure you really work in the shading and the blending for this. You don't want it to have like harsh brown lines on your face. So here I'm using that light face colored powder to kind of go over everything and soften. And again, accentuating that triangle above her lip because it is very prominent in that photo. Next, we're going to take a cream and again, just kind of round out the nose a little bit. And I do recommend using a picture whenever you're trying to actually look like a specific person. And sometimes it also helps to use a shaded drawing, like on DeviantArt or something, where another artist has basically found the highlights and lowlights for you. Next, we're going to use eyeshadow primer. So apply that all over your upper lids. And again, always use your finger to pat. Don't really rub it in too hard because this is really thin, delicate skin. So we're going to use a light brown, a taupe color, and we're going to cover your entire lid with it up to the crease. Work that in and really just stick to browns, tans, cream colors, maybe a little bit of gold and bronze. Once you finish coloring the upper lid, you're going to take a mauve color, it's like purpley brown, and work from the outer edge of your eye and towards the middle, right along your crease, just to accentuate the hollows of your eyes. Next, I'm going to take a gray charcoaly color and go over that crease again, just to create more of a shadow. And after that, I'm taking a light bronze color and going over the balls of my eyes. It's a very mild shimmer to it, It's fun and flirty, but it's not too sparkly. Use that same bronze eyeshadow to go right underneath the eye as well. And next, take a light gold, and that's gonna accentuate your brow bone and really just bring out the shape of the face. So work that in and make sure you get it right underneath the eyebrow as well. And again, this has a little bit of a shimmer, but it's not so sparkly that it's overwhelming, because we do want to keep it rather natural. Then you're going to take a light brown eyeliner pencil and accentuate those corners. Then I went back and used a little darker bronze for just lining my eyelid and making my eyes pop. And I went in and added a little more in the very corners of your eye just to crease the eye shape. Next, I'm going to take a dark brown eyeliner pencil and just softly line the eyes. For the next step, we're going to use my favorite mascara is this double extend mascara, and I'm using a 2-step mascara. So the first step is the extenders and the second step is the color, and going back over any creases, making sure that the area right underneath is all shimmer free. Next, add Daisy's Beauty Mark with the same dark brown. I'm going to use a concealer and start shaping my lips before I even start doing the lip liner. This is really just to help make sure that it comes out nice and clean. You're really going to accentuate the Cupid's bow. That was really popular to have that sharp point there in the 1920s. So beginning with your lip liner, draw that in first and then fill in your lips with the lip liner. And I actually even used some concealer to accentuate that point a little bit more and hide some of my natural lip shape. After that, I'm going to use a rosy pink lipstick and go over that same shape. Next, go ahead and apply your fake eyelashes. I went with some that are pretty small and subtle because Daisy does have that natural look about her. And after that, I put mascara on my lower lashes, and then I accentuated her rosy cheeks with a light pink blush just right on the apples of your cheeks. And top it off with a wig, some pearls, and of course a little flapper band. And that completes your 1920s Daisy look.
Alright, so now we're going to transition these warm, soft tones of Daisy's look into the more charcoal, sultry look that Jordan has in the film, especially on the night of the big Gatsby party. So let me go ahead and build on what I already have and show you how to kind of move into the nighttime.
Alright, first things first, we're going to really amp up the lips. So get a red lip liner and draw out that Cupid's bow one more time. And this time we're going to fill that in with a bright red lipstick. And this is the Jordan Baker look where she's going to the Gatsby party. So she's got really bright red lipstick, charcoal eyes. Again, I'll put the link to the picture that I'm using for reference. Make sure the lips are nice and clean, so I'm using that concealer to kind of clean it up. And then I'm using one of my favorite tricks, which is take a makeup remover wipe and essentially put it over the back end of a brush, and it becomes an eraser. So I erase Daisy's beauty mark, a couple of the contours, the dimples. Next, I'm going to take a lighter translucent powder and brighten up the areas that I contoured. Alright, so now we're going to transform our look into Elizabeth Debiki, Jordan Baker. So take a little bit darker face powder and accentuate the temples, the crease of her chin, and her cheekbones. Her nose is much thinner than Daisy's. It's thin, it's pointy, and it's pretty sharp. So again, with the highlighting, make sure you're getting all the right places. She has a lot less round cheeks than Daisy, so you want to make sure you highlight right above her cheekbones to accentuate that. So next I'm going to line my eyes with this black liquid eyeliner with a small cat eye flip at the edge. And I'm going to take a makeup remover wipe and I'm taking off the gold colors. When it comes to the brown, we can put the charcoal right on top because it kind of overpowers it. So put the charcoal again all over the lid, stopping at the crease. And next we're going to take a darker color and really accentuate that crease in there again. Make sure it's nice and sculpted use a makeup remover wipe if you mess up at all, and it happens. And then I'm going to take that smoky charcoal color and line my lower lashes with it. And she does have pretty intense makeup going on, so I would take a smudge brush and really work that smoky effect and line it with that black pencil as well, all the way across. After that, I'm going to work in some of the dark colors and blend up a bit. And then I'm going to take a primer and prime my upper lid once more. Next, we're going to do the Elizabeth Debiki's eyebrows, which are much darker as Jordan is a brunette in the film. So I'm taking a darker brown and still another blonde and mixing them together. So go ahead and fill those in a little bit more. Her eyebrows are also a little bit thicker than Daisy's. Next, I'm going to take a plum color and really work the creases of her eyes to create that shadow, and a light silver for highlighting the brow bone. So bring that up and blend that in. And I took a little bit of light concealer to also accentuate that highlight, because again, she does have a really amazing facial structure and we want to mimic that. Touching up the cat eyes and highlighting the lower lid with white to make the eyes pop. And make sure your lips are nice and pointy. So for the Jordan look, I'm going to take a cream blush, and as opposed to accentuating the apples of my cheeks like I did for Daisy, I'm really just going to highlight the strong cheekbones that Jordan has. And of course, the Flapper Girl dark wig and a flapper hat. So this is pretty exciting. This hat is actually from the 1920s. It belonged to my great aunt in Nebraska, and it was handed down to me by my grandma.
As always, please subscribe if you like what I do, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a great night on the town.